What's up, YouTube? Back at you with another video. If you haven't already, be sure to check out my video essays on Ralph Tresvant and Bobby Brown's respective unreleased albums, Living in a Dream and Mystical Magic. In both videos, I discuss their history, the circumstances leading up to them, as well as other interesting details. In the 80s, New Edition spearheaded the next generation of R&B pop groups. Troop, New Kids on the Block, High Five, Boyz II Men, and Soul For Real are among the groups that follow New Edition's formulaic presentation on and off stage. One group in particular that shared history worth note with New Edition is the Force MDs, known for songs like Tears, Let Me Love You, Love Is a House, and their classic hit, Tinder Love. Written and produced by the legendary Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, Tinder Love went on to make a lasting impression on listeners that would transcend generations. But did you know that the song was initially intended for New Edition? In this video, I'll be detailing the parallel relationship between New Edition and the Force MDs, their appearance in Krush Groove, and why the song ended up being recorded by the Force MDs. While you're here, please be sure to subscribe to the channel, and without further ado, let's get into it. Staten Island natives T.C. Lundy, Charles Mercury Nelson, Jesse Daniels, Trisco Pearson, and Steve Lundy burst onto the music scene in 1984 with their first album, Love Letters. They were the first group to truly blend the genre of hip-hop and R&B. Much like New Edition, they were known for their clean-cut image, high-energy choreography, and great vocals. So much so that it landed them the opportunity to be the opening act on New Edition tours in 1984 and 1985. As with any pairing of two dynamic forces, comparisons are to be made. It was said that the Force MDs were an act that New Edition could not follow due to them setting the bar too high.
When I say New Edition was like Jackson 5, that's really true. You know, we was a group that we was from New York and they's from Boston, and we both just like the same little energetic style on stage and everything. You know, so people really liked the combination of us two together. That's why we did 3 tours with them. That we had a great combination, because we used to do all our stuff flipping, and they used to do their stuff, and they looked at us like big brothers, because you know we was like maybe 3-4 years older than them, but you know they're good to this day. You know, when we see each other, man, all we do is reminisce and laugh how they had girls camped out in hotels or in the lobby. It was just so much. They even girls come to us as, I'll give you some if you show me where Ralph room is. No, you're too young. Get away from me.
Damn.
I mean, all types of stuff. That's how they had these people crazed. I'm like, wow. So, you know, that's the power of marketing and promotion. If you see New Edition, they my boys. I keep it 100. At a time, their management told us kind of like tone our showdowns. We're both very energetic groups, and we was like, we was a group like, yo, these dudes they good too. Like their people was like, yo, some people say, yo, y'all kind of outshine. This was the younger New Edition, not the now New Edition. Right. We was all younger back then. Some people said we outshined them on shows and stuff. It was really crazy, really competitive, but friendly competitive, because we just wanted to give the fans a good show.
In lieu of that narrative that's continued in conversations even to this day, I will affirm that those sorts of statements are asinine and rooted in opinion rather than fact. Enter Krush Groove, a film shot in April 1985 and released later that year on October 25th. It depicts the early days of Def Jam and the up-and-coming record producer Russell Simmons. Krush Groove featured a slew of New York artists like Run DMC, LL Cool J, Curtis Blow, and the Fat Boys. Initially, the Force MDs, who are also from New York, were on board to appear in the film, while New Edition was in negotiations with Warner Brothers to sing the love ballad Tender Love. Ultimately, talks with Warner Brothers broke down, and it was New Edition that would appear in the film, while Force MDs would record Tender Love in Minneapolis with Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. I believe that New Edition's contractual situation with Jump Into Productions was what prevented them from recording the song. In order for it to have worked, MCA, Warner Brothers, and Jump and Shoot would have had to have come to an agreement as far as royalties, publishing, and rights were concerned. Whereas the Force MDs were signed to a much smaller independent record label that was started in 1981, Tommy Boy Records, whom that same year entered into a partnership with Warner Brothers, where the latter acquired half the label and allowed Tommy Boy to retain independent distribution. All the aforementioned lends itself to the legitimacy of the story, because Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis did not know who would sing the song.
Okay, but see, the thing about Tender Love was written for a movie.
And we actually, the interesting thing about it was that they sent us a scene in the movie. Now, the movie was Krush Groove, so it was like one of the first hip-hop movies. And Sheila E. was in it, and LL Cool J and a bunch of folks. So they sent it, they said, we need a ballad for this one love scene. And so the lyrics were really based on the scene that they sent us. Like when they say candles that light the dark, there was candles that were being lit in the scene, literally at that point in time. Now, when the movie actually came out, they chopped the scene all up, so it didn't really matter because everybody thought, well, who wants to hear a ballad in the middle of a movie, particularly a hip hop movie? And it ended up being our first actually top 10 pop record, this was. And we had no clue. And people at this point in time didn't know we were capable of writing a ballad, I don't think at that point anyway, certainly not a piano ballad. So it did a lot of things for us. It really opened up a lot of opportunities for us after that.
Yeah, and it's a physical love ballad. That's different.
Yeah.
That's just nasty.
At that time, we went on a 24-hour schedule to finish the song because we had to have it turned around the next day.
We didn't know who was going to sing it. They told us, we'll find somebody to sing it, but just write the song.
Force B flew to Minneapolis. The guys were so extremely talented. And when we started, the song started coming out so well.
The vocal probably took about 2 hours, and it was a really fast session.
Given the massive popularity of New Edition in 1985, it makes sense that Warner Brothers would approach them with the song first and place the lesser-known Force MDs in the film for the talent show sequence. Tinder Love would have been their first collaboration with Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, which ended up being their first top 10 Billboard Hot 100 hit. It also would have satisfied the group's grievances with their bubblegum sound and would have been a departure into the more mature sound that they had been denied for some time. Along with chart-topping songs like Cool It Now, Mr. Telephone Man, and Candy Girl, Tinder Love would have been, at best, a top 5 hit on the Hot 100 and number 1 on the Black Singles Chart, charting higher than the Force MDs' original peak at number 10 and number 4, respectively. Ralph Tresvant went on to express his liking of the song and disappointment at the missed opportunity of recording it.
When Tender Love dropped, I mean, it was over. All the lights, it was over after we did that. It was like, that's how big that song was. But, Ralph always said, man, I wish we would have did that joint, man. I wish we would have did that joint. I said, yo, man. Hey, man, you had Can You Stand the Rain and Helplessly in Love. That was close,
Right.
Working with Jam and Lewis eventually became the incentive for Ralph to return to the group to record the Heartbreak Album in 1987. In 1996, Ralph Tresvant would actually perform a short snippet of Tender Love on the Home Again tour.
That's not a New Edition song, man. That's not our song.
There is no denying the timelessness of the Force MD's version, particularly T.C. Lundy's vocals on the record. Its success and history has shown such. I do want to take the time to remember the members of the Force MDs who have unfortunately passed on. T.C. Lundy, Charles Mercury Nelson, Jesse Daniels, and Trisco Pearson. The honorable mention being Jesse Daniels, who inspired me as a dancer since I came across the group back in 2015. Jesse Daniels was the initial lead singer of the group, who led infectious songs like Forgive Me Girl, Let Me Love You, and 1+1. Inspired by Michael Jackson, he paid homage to his style of dance on stage. Much like New Edition revolving the majority of lead vocals on songs around Ralph, after the success of Tender Love, songs focused more on TC's vocals and Jesse took on a more supporting background role in the group. Unhappy with the situation, Jesse Daniels left the group sometime in 1986 and would not return to the group for many years. In my opinion, Jesse D could have just as easily been the one who sang lead on Tender Love, and given more of an opportunity to shine would have extended the group's lifetime in the industry. With that said, I want to say much respect to the living members of the Force MDs, and rest in peace to the ones who have passed on. I hope you made it to the end of this video. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.